More YouTube stuff.
All right, wish list. Here's the thing. First of all, you got to change your book around a little bit. Your blue book. Shiny? I need a blue book. I need a blue book. I need a blue book. Oh, yeah. There's this one. No, you just got a lot of stuff. I need yours. All right, good. So good, you guys are using this. So here's what you do with your blue book. You take the gifts and accessories section, okay, out, and you put it, I'm going to teach wish list stuff, too. You put it before, right after booklet, you just switch booklet 2 and booklet 3, okay? So you just take booklet 2 and booklet 3 and you switch it, okay? So now now the smaller sets, the galleys and all that other stuff are back here. Okay? I know some people take the smaller sets out of their book completely, okay, which you can do as well. All right, so if they don't know there's any other smaller sets, I just kind of switch them. Okay, so there's another thing you can do, and then what you do is you end. If you have a complete kitchen, you can have a complete kitchen, but it doesn't really matter. All right, so now when you do your demo, let me do a demo really quickly. I go, Mr. Jones. Okay, so here's the homemakers. Which do you like better, the wood blocks or the trays? I like the trays. I like the wood blocks. Great. All right, let me show you the kitchen tools. What was that? Oh, that was called our ultimate set. I'll explain that later. All right, so here's our kitchen tools. Now, Mrs. Jones, and then you go into flatware. Okay, and then what you do is you keep out a list. Okay, you keep out a piece of paper. You should be taking notes on your customers anyway during your demo, but you keep the paper out. This is going to make your demo a little bit longer. But that's okay if you have an average order of $1,000. All right. So I go, Mrs. Jones, and we also have flatware. Okay. Now the great thing about the flatware, let me teach you quickly how to sell some flatware. Okay. The great thing about our flatware. Do you have any mismatching flatware? Yes. Okay. Now you guys have heard me do this before, but I want to do it anyway. So you have any mismatching flatware? Yes. Ms. Jones, it's kind of annoying when you have people over. The reason why you have mismatching flatware is because people discontinue their flatware. Companies discontinue flatware patterns every 5 or 6 months, and so that way you lose a fork or a spoon, and now you can't ever find that pattern again. So now you got to go look up. You got to go buy a whole new set of flatware, but then you don't want to throw out the old stuff. So now you have the old stuff and the new stuff, and now everything mismatches, and then you lose a couple more of those, and then you have all these different patterns, and it doesn't look good when you go to set your table. People come over and they're like, this person has the floral pattern, this person has the raised pattern, this person has the flat pattern, and it just doesn't look good, and everybody looks at you like, why'd you buy a set like this? Okay, and you did. So what happens, Ms. Jones? We never change our patterns. So we've had the same pattern for 60 years. So that way, if you ever do lose a fork or a spoon, you can get a replacement fork or spoon. By the way, that takes care of those people who say, oh, I don't want to get the flatware because I might throw out a fork. So I always throw them out. I always lose them. Okay, like they say that. So now I'm taking care of that. Okay, so that's a way of handling that objection before it comes up. Right. So also the stainless steel flatware, Ms. Jones, it looks beautiful. By the way, people come into your kitchen or you come into a diner, if you ever have a dinner party or something, and it just gleams. It's awesome. Just the whole table gleams. They come in, wow, look at this. Okay, painting pictures. Okay, and then people like that. Oh, yes, gleaming. All right. Now, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to quickly go through our gifts and accessories section here. What I'd like to do is, I know you're liking, do you like our product so far? Like, yeah. I go, what I like to do for my customers is a lot of people like to get the stuff also as gifts. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to jot down if there's anything that anybody you have to buy gifts for. By the way, do you have any weddings coming up over the next couple of years? Is there anybody that you have to buy nice holiday gifts for? Christmas time, that kind of stuff. A lot of people will buy our products now because I am in this big competition. All right, the big push period, and I can give you some really good deals on a number of our sets and a lot of our pieces, and a lot of our gifts, I should say. All right, so you got to throw that in there. All right, so I can give you a really good deal on some of our sets. So if you see anything today that you like, Mr. Jones, I'll write it down for you, and then I can tell you about the prices at the end. I'll for you. Oh, cool. What that's doing is it's putting them in a mindset like, oh, you heard Arietta on the video, some of you just a couple minutes ago, say, Mr. Jones, I know you want to get it, but I'm in this big, huge competition, and that's why you talk about your competitions in the beginning, guys. I'm in this big competition. I give you some sick deals. I can give you the deals I'm never going to give again, okay? And so until next year, we'll do this again. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let me hear about these. Right? People like deals, right? Okay, people like sales. People like deals, right? So that's something good. All right, so then what you do is you go through, and you go, Mr. Jones, now we were just talking about the flatware here. How many people do you have sitting around here? How many people do you have like eat at your table? Oh, 4. Okay, so you need about 12 sets of flatware. Oh, okay, so, and I just write down 12 sets of flatware. I don't wait for them to tell me to write it down. I just write down whatever I want to write down. Okay, so, and then I'll pick out which ones they really like and which ones I just wrote down. I usually write down almost everything in the book. All right, so I go, oh, so 12 sets of flatware, Mrs. Jones. And they go, huh? I go, yeah, Mrs. Jones, because you don't want to have to, sometimes the forks are in the dishwasher. You usually have about, if you have 4 people, you need about 3 sets of them because, some are on the table, some are in the dishwasher, some are in the drawer. A lot of times I tell customers like 1 or 2, like they just get 4 sets. Like, Mrs. Jones, how many butter knives do you have right now? Do you just have 4? No. I go, right, of course. That would be really annoying. So, I always like to get people at least 3 times as many. That usually gives them enough, for washing dishes and all that kind of thing. Oh, okay, great. Right. Now, Mr. Jones, these are our table knives. You heard me talk about them before. They come in sets of 4, 6, 8, and 12. These are like the best gifts ever, Mrs. Jones, because I'm sure all your family eat, right? Okay? And so it's a great gift. This is like amazing because you can't get the wrong color, you can't get the wrong size. People actually use it. It's not like you get them a gift and they just like throw it in the closet. And they always remember. Like, Mr. Jones, do you remember what your sister bought from you for Thanksgiving or, for your birthday, 5 years ago? No. Okay? If she had bought you these table knives, do you think you would remember? Yeah. Okay? Like, that's the best thing about our gifts. They always remember who they are. Plus, you can get them engraved, too, so that way they remember who got it for them. Special gift from Mary. Right? Isn't that cool? So can you think of anybody that you might want to buy these for? Because, again, we're doing some specials on those. Oh, yeah, I might want to get them for this or that. This. Okay.
Do you have to pay to get it for free?
They pay $4.50. Yeah, no good. You don't pay for 15 carat. Talk to me later on video. All right, so that's how it goes. So that's it might change. That's what it is. All right. So by the way, 3 things you should write down on the side so you remember: gifts for family and friends, business gifts, family and friends, business gifts, and associates, work associates, or other people. A lot of people buy their mailman stuff like that. Okay? So you need to make sure any of those things are coming up. And then I just asked them, Ms. Jones, so there's usually 3 types of gifts people buy for associates, work associates, or maybe your teachers. Like a lot of people buy gifts for their kid's teacher. These are a good gift for that too. So you got to give them these thought joggers, guys. They're not going to think of it themselves. You got to think of it. Okay? So you have those thought joggers. So Ms. Jones, anybody like that? Table knives, great. All right. By the way, those table knives, would you like to get them in the wood blocks or the trays? Or, by the way, we do have these cherry wood chests. Now, these are awesome looking. These have a velvet lining. You can get a nice engraving, so you get the 3 layers on top. We also have what's called this deluxe carving set, which is really cool. It has this nice silver butt on it. It goes like through that. And I talk about it. Oh, you can go on to Cutco.com and you can look up. If you're like, I don't know what to say about these things, which I'm stumbling right now because I haven't talked about them in like years. Okay, so go on to Cutco.com. You can click on any of these things, and it will sell you. That's what the website's designed for. Okay, so it'll give you a whole bunch of uses for each of these things. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time going through the uses. Go on Cutco.com and then just look up the pieces. That's the website for customers. Right? Now, Mr. Jones, here's some other gift ideas. By the way, who did you say you have to? You can also write down the names of the people that they're getting gifts for. Who did you say you might want to get gifts for? Your uncle, your brother, people from work, this kind of stuff. By the way, guys, you get one person who's a contractor and buys 40 knives for his own. That's a business expense for them, guys. Okay, they're gonna buy him something anyway. Or you get somebody who's a caterer and they buy a whole bunch of stuff. Like, guys, that's a $5,000-$6,000 order right there. All right, how many of those do you need? Okay, you only need 1, 2. So the point is, you never know who you're seeing. So you're seeing people who buy gifts, especially real estate people. All those types of people. If somebody owns a business, they get things for and they're gonna buy things anyway for them anyway. So you might as well get Cutco. All right, so throw these things out. So you got gift sets, Mr. Jones. Any of these gift sets particularly do you like? All right, if they